Good morning. Whenever we gather in this sacred space, it is made more sacred by the presence and attention of each and every one of us. Whether we are here in the sanctuary or attending by live stream from places far and near or viewing sometime in the future, we are here together. I invite those here in person to turn to the camera and wave to our live streaming friends. Let us take a moment now to greet one another. Good morning.
Good morning.
They don't.
I'll do it.
Where's the bell? You got it? Okay, we're good.
Welcome, everybody. What a great crew out there. My word. Welcome, everyone, to the Winchester Unitarian Society, a caring religious community devoted to spiritual growth, social transformation, and environmental responsibility. As a welcoming congregation, we affirm the full inclusion of people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, whatever their faith, traditions, or their immigration status. For those among us from other lands, know that we honor the command of the Hebrew Bible, Deuteronomy 10:19, you must treat the foreigner living among you as native-born and love him as yourself, for you were foreigners in the land of Egypt. My name is Martin Newhouse, and I am serving as worship associate this morning. And as I've said many times, as Unitarian Universalists, our faith does not require us to believe in a dogma, a tenet, or a creed. And among us, we believe many different things. We prize freedom of thought and open, honest discussion and questioning because these, we believe, enrich both our spiritual lives and our work in the community. Indeed, we can still proudly state today the statement made by the very first minister of this society over 100 years ago, quote, "We do not regard even the best creed as final. We look for new truths and new statements of old ones. We maintain the unlimited right of free inquiry." But while our faith doesn't require us to believe any particular dogma or belief, it does require us and recognize to call upon us to do certain things. And as I stated, among those is to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person and to welcome every person. And in that spirit, we greet with joy all and fellowship all who are with us today, including those who are online. If you are visiting for the first time, either in person or online, please take a few moments during the service to provide your contact information so we can stay connected. Live stream attendees will see information about how to do this later during the offering. And those here in the sanctuary, please fill out the physical visitor card in the pew racks in front of you. Please complete it, put it in the offering plate when it comes around so we can keep in touch. And for those who are here for the first time or didn't read highlights, today is the Paper Bag Pageant. So it's not our normal service, so don't expect things to go in the normal order. In particular, we're going to be asking you for your money really early in the service. Now I believe that Terrell Levering, who's co-chair of the search committee, has an announcement.
Hello, I'm Terrell Levering. I'm the co-chair of the search committee, and we just wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going. So first of all, thank you to everyone who participated in the ministerial survey, in the focus groups, and all of the things that we've been asking you to do this fall. It was really helpful, and we appreciate everyone's input into our next minister. We will be sending out a link in the next issue of Highlights, which I believe is 2 weeks from now, with those results. If you're interested, there's all of the questions and answers and kind of summaries of what everyone said. So we just wanted to update you on what we've been doing. We've been busy preparing the congregational record, which is a huge packet that we put together that represents who we are as a congregation and where we want to go and what we're looking for in the next minister. This goes out to all of the ministers who are in search at this point. They have been reviewing it since December 2nd, and on January 2nd, the search committee will get a list of applicants of who is interested in our congregation. From there, we're going to spend a couple weeks doing Zoom interviews, reference checks, that sort of thing, and then we'll invite 3 of the pre-candidates out secretly to do more intense interviews and meet with the search team, get to know the area, that sort of thing. Let's see. We wanted to make sure everyone was aware, if all goes well, we will welcome our final candidate to preach from the pulpit on Sunday, April 26th. This is the end of April break. Originally, the UUA had recommended doing the candidating week over April break, so we pushed it out a week. They will come preach on April 26th, and they will be with us that entire following week. So if you're away, you will have opportunities to meet them, get to know them. They'll probably sit in on some committee meetings, meet the staff, that sort of thing. And if all goes well, we will have a congregational vote to call our next settled minister on Sunday, May 3rd. So please reserve this date in your calendar for exciting news, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Terrell. After the service this morning, don't forget, we're all invited to Metcalf Hall for a potluck lunch. And please come if you are able to do so to join for fellowship, conversation, and I'm sure delicious food. And don't forget, the fellowship committee would help with cleanup afterwards. And now let us open our hearts and minds to the spirit of worship.
Our invocation this morning is adapted from the words of Alex Klingenberg. She wrote, "We come together this morning to remember the history, or the myth, that says hope was born in the form of a baby named Jesus. What is so compelling about the story of Jesus' birth, his life, his love? Why has this story reached across the ages to us while so many others have faded into history? Jesus embodies the best of what humanity can be: compassionate, humble, brave, and mortal. Jesus asks us to make the most of our life, to create joy where there is pain, to care for the poor and question the powerful, and, perhaps most importantly, to question the purpose of our own lives. What will we leave in our wake? In whom will we be reborn? What light can we bring in the darkness? This morning, we contemplate the significance that one person can have and revel in the joy of possibilities. We also revel in the joy of having fun. May Klingenberg's words guide us now into the sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together.
I'd now like to invite Timothy Suchi to come and light our chalice, which is located down there. Timothy? Yeah, right here. Right here. And for our chalice lighting words, I've chosen something relating to the competing Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. Tonight is the last night of Hanukkah, and our chalice lighting words come from the UUA interpretive translation of the Hebrew words of the blessing, which I love. In lighting our chalice this morning, we honor the great mystery of the universe, the source of all, which deems everything sacred by its power to unite us and gives us the radiance that we bring forth together as we kindle the Hanukkah lights. We celebrate our spirit of life, wellspring of all that we perceive and imagine, as we look upon with reverence the wondrous great fortune which is bestowed upon our ancestors throughout antiquity, and we cherish the wonder of each thing, the order of the universe that binds us together with all of nature, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season.
In addition to being the last Sunday of Hanukkah, it is also the last, or not the last Sunday, but the last day of Hanukkah, it's also the last Sunday of Advent. And so we have these words from Megan Visser as we light our Advent wreath candles this morning. She wrote, "This morning makes the fourth Sunday in the season of Advent in the Christian tradition. Each week until Christmas, we have been lighting a new candle on the Advent wreath, symbols of hope, peace, joy, and love. As the season reaches its completion, we prepare for new life to dawn. Our hearts soften and our arms open to embrace its brightness. This morning we light the fourth candle. We light this candle as a reminder that there is no greater power in the world than love. Through this community, we can become a blessing to one another. Our love is magnified and lives are changed. We can hardly wait any longer for the wonder of love to be revealed. May we risk enough to become vulnerable and welcome holy tenderness."
Of service, our opening hymn is Ocho Candelitas, which John will talk about in a moment, but it has to do with lighting the Hanukkah candles, and I was given permission to say a few words about why we light candles on 8 nights for Hanukkah. This is also known as the Jewish Festival of Lights, and it's an 8-day celebration, and it celebrates 2 miracles. The first is a great Jewish military victory for religious freedom and for religious freedom against the conquering Greeks. When they say it's miraculous, I think of Benjamin Franklin, God helps those who help themselves, because it was actually the Israeli military that had the victory. But it was miraculous. And the second thing is the miraculous supply of oil for the temple. So let me just briefly tell you the story I learned as a little kid, which was that when the people of Israel reclaimed their temple, there was only enough pure oil left for 1 day. But the oil miraculously burned for 8 days. So each of the candles of the menorah, except for one, the 8 candles represent 1 day of that miraculous burning of the temple oil. And then there's an extra candle, which in Hebrew is called the shamash, which is the management candle, and that you use to light the other candles. And I might say one thing that I always forget is that you're not supposed to use the light of those candles to see anything, to light your books or light your room. Because they're sacred, you're just supposed to look at them in reverence. Hanukkah is time to celebrate with family and friends, to eat holiday treats, to give gifts, sort of like Christmas, to play the dreidel game, if you all know what the dreidel is. And now John is going to introduce our first opening hymn, Ocho Candelitas.
Absolutely, and if we find the words in the little sheet packet, I'm going to invite some singers up here to help us with the verses. The song is by Flora Yogodi, and you've heard us do it a couple times. I thought it'd be fun for us to all do a chorus together. The verses tell, as Mark was saying, about time with family, celebrating Hanukkah, lighting the lights, also Candelitas, and celebrating with pastries and parties. We have to learn how to count to 8 in Ladino, which is sort of like a little Yiddish version of Spanish that the Jews spoke in Spain a long time ago, and that's what this is. So if you look at the words, it's una, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho. Can we try that together? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho. Two goes like this. Una candelicas, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí.
aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda estar aquí, 8 candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas para hacer, con alegrías para hacer. Muchas fiestas por hacer, con alegrías y placer. Oh, una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas,
As I warned, it's now time for the offering. For our offering this morning, we share the plate with Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and I believe that Roseanne Hogan is here. Is Roseanne here? Roseanne Hogan was supposed to be here to talk about Bridge Over Troubled Waters. She is the annual giving and events manager there. I think we all know what Bridge Over Troubled Waters is about, and so now it's time to support them. As I said before, if you are new to the congregation, please either at this time or if you've already done it, put the filled out contact card in the offering plate. As is a longstanding practice, those who do not wish to share half the donation given can indicate that in their donation, and all the ways to donate are in your order of service. So with that, I'll just say the morning offering will be generously given and gratefully received. And let me just say, John's reminding me, we have a musical, the music for this will be the Children's Chorale, which is a great institution. We're really looking forward to it, and they will be doing the Holly and the Ivy during the offering. Wasn't that wonderful? Wasn't that just great? And we musicians, we choir members know how much practice is involved. So thank you very, very much. Now, those who wish to do so, I'm asking to join in the unison affirmation that is in your order of service. We gather not for ourselves alone, but to use our common power to build the beloved community within and beyond these walls. We create and reaffirm this covenant this day to make justice flourish, to practice and to embody transformative love. Now I yield the platform.
All right. It is almost time for our paper bag pageant. Liz and Sophia, are there any important roles missing? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't have a costume yet and wants to participate, there are a few more in the back still in the Sims room. Feel free to go do that right now. Oh, they're just inside here? Okay. They're just right back there. It's your last opportunity.
Elephant. That sounds like fun.
Who wants to be an elephant or a ladybug? This is your last chance. Any takers? Any takers? All right. So, each year we retell the story of Jesus' birth. This morning, I invite you to hear this ancient and familiar story once again. The story of a baby born in a stable, the story of shepherds and wise people, the story of angels and shining stars. Many of you will take part in the telling of the story. You will help us to experience this old story in a new way, as if it were happening for the first time, right here, right now. Brenna and I will narrate the story, and we will give you directions and tell you when it is your turn to come up. So don't worry about doing things right or making mistakes, because there aren't any mistakes today. That is the most important part of the directions. There aren't any mistakes today. There's only us telling the story of the birth of a little baby named Jesus, who was born in an unexpected place and grew up to have a hard and important life, and whose teachings were all about love, inclusive, accepting, challenging love. And these teachings about love are so powerful that we are still teaching them today. There's only us bringing the story of that baby's birth joyfully and messily and chaotically to life. And messy and chaotic, and hopefully with a lot of joy, is how new life usually comes into the world. So that is exactly how it should be here this morning as well. So, if Mary and Joseph and their donkey will please go to the back of the sanctuary, and then a certain Roman emperor who will hopefully have mercy upon the narrators. Please don't threaten to toss us to the lions. If you want to come up to the pulpits, the story can now begin.
A long time ago, in a place called Palestine, the Roman Empire ruled the land, and everyone had to do what the emperor, that's me, told them to do, whether they liked it or not, even if it meant the people had to travel a long way in order to get counted. So they would have to give me money. And that's exactly what happened. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus. That's me. And here's what it said. All the world has to be counted in a census, and I will know how many people owe me money. And once I know how many people there are, I will make them pay me taxes. And just to be perfectly clear, I am the emperor, and I am in charge of all things, so they will pay those taxes to me.
So all the people had to go to the city or town where they had been born to register. For some people, that meant a long journey. Joseph, a carpenter, and Mary, the woman to whom he was engaged to be married, lived in the town of Nazareth, and they had to go to the town of Bethlehem in what is now the West Bank in Palestine, which was about 70 miles, a very long walk. Mary and Joseph and Mary's little donkey, will you begin your long, slow journey from Nazareth up the center aisle now? Mary was pregnant, and she was going to have her baby very soon, and she was tired and very uncomfortable. Walking was hard, and riding on the donkey hurt her back, but there was nothing that could be done about it. They had to go. So they traveled slowly, sometimes even walking into the dark nights, which were lit only by bright stars. Okay, we need some bright stars now. Will the stars please come forward and stand right here by Emperor Augustus so you can shine for the rest of the story. If at any point some stars need to rest, we have some chairs there. John, could you play some starry music while the stars get in place?
When Mary and Joseph finally arrived in Bethlehem, they went to the inn in Bethlehem. Innkeeper, would you come up front to answer your door? The innkeeper answered the door and told Mary and Joseph and their little donkey.
Sorry, but between the census and the last night of Hanukkah tonight, my guest rooms are all full. There's no room for you here. But just to set the record straight, actually, I'm not really an innkeeper. I'm a distant relative of Joseph's. You know, it's like this. Joseph was born in Bethlehem and still has family here. And even if we're really, really distant cousins, like fourth cousins, like twice removed, there's no way I would let Joseph and Mary go to an inn to stay with strangers in this condition. I'm not even sure we have inns. I'd have to go check. The problem is, the rooms in my house set aside for guests are all full. Over full, man. Packed full. So got to figure something out.
The guest rooms were full because because so many people had returned to Bethlehem for the census. But Joseph's fourth cousin, twice removed, saw how tired Mary and Joseph were and how very, very pregnant Mary was. And he knew he had to make room for them somewhere. The custom of providing welcome was very strong. So we told them they could stay in the stable. But the stable wasn't a building out in the back separate from everything else. In those days and at that time, people had a small room attached to the main part of their house that was for their animals. So it would have been pretty crowded in the stable and full of animals because, you know, it was a stable. But the family would have been nearby too. And Mary and Joseph would not have been all alone while she went through labor and childbirth. Anyway, the innkeeper, also known as Joseph's fourth cousin, twice removed, said,
Come on in. You can stay in the stable. It isn't much, and my animals are all in there because it's a stable. But it's warm and a place to rest, and I'll bring you some food and water for washing. And, you know, some blankets. It's not that bad at all. Like, come with me. I'll show you. You can come a
Innkeeper,
little faster.
please lead Mary and Joseph and their donkey up here to our beautiful stable.
So, yeah, it's pretty nice. Got some stars. Got some, like, animals. Let's chill.
Now, as the innkeeper has said, the stable was just a very small room kind of stuck on to the rest of the house. And like most stables, it had animals in it. The innkeeper kept a donkey there and a small milk cow and flocks of chickens. And there was a beautiful barn cat and some quiet mice living in the corners. And there was also, I think we have a dragon bunny Santa. Do we have any other animals that I have not yet mentioned, other than camels? Oh, Father Time comes later. Sorry. I'll try to remember that. I apologize. So anyone who is a stable animal at the birth of Jesus may come up now and join us. Except for the camels and the sheep, because they come later in the story. All right. You can crawl or slither or hop or walk or fly, depending on what kind of animal or creature you are. If you didn't bring a costume, but you would like to be part of the stable, you're more than welcome to come on up. And if you're shy or small animal, you can ask your grown-ups to bring you. All right. The animals all welcomed Mary and Joseph and were even kind enough to give up their hay-filled manger or feeding trough. Can someone grab the manger? Okay. So the baby could have a bed. As soon as Mary and Joseph got settled in, it became clear that it was time for the baby to be born. So while the baby is being born, let's stand as we are able and join in singing Away in a Manger. The words are on the insert in your order of service.
Thus, Mary gave birth to a very beautiful little baby, as you can see, in a simple stable surrounded by animals. Joseph and Mary wrapped their baby up warmly, and they named the baby Jesus because Joseph had already had a dream that the baby's name should be Jesus. The animals welcomed the baby by making all their animal noises, chirping or mooing or baaing or meowing or barking, but gently so they wouldn't scare the baby. Excellent, thank you. Now, in that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. They were high up in the hills, keeping their sheep safe on a dark and quiet night. So now we need the shepherds and the sheep. Will all the shepherds and sheep please gather at the back of the sanctuary? Shepherds, don't forget your crooks. And when you are ready, our border collie named Abby will lead you halfway down the aisle to your hills. At this time, will the congregation please stand as able and sing the first Noel, while the sheep, shepherds, and border collie make their way to the hills halfway down the aisle. The words are in the insert in your order of service.
While the shepherds were watching their flocks by night, suddenly an angel named Gabriel, who was an extremely important and very cool angel among all the angels, stood before them. John, could you do a short burst of angel music while the angel Gabriel comes to stand? The angel stood before them, and a great light shone all around them. And the shepherds were sore afraid, which means terrified. But the angel said to them,
Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be for all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a deliverer, a Messiah, who is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign to you. You shall find the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in the manger. In other words, there is nothing to be afraid of. I have amazing, incredible, good news, and it is for everyone. Today in Bethlehem, a baby was born, and this baby is going to grow up and make things better, especially for people who don't have riches or power, the ones that everyone just walks by without really seeing. Well, this baby will see them. Don't bother looking in fancy places, though. You will find the baby in a little shed, all wrapped up, surrounded by animals sleeping in the hay and the feeding trough, which is actually pretty comfortable in my angelic opinion.
And suddenly there was with the angel Gabriel a whole choir of angels. So will all the angels fly over and join Gabriel in the sky right here? Oh, Father Time's, it's Father Time's time. Father Time joins the angels all in here. John, can we have some more angel music? Thank you. Come on up, angels. So the shepherds said to one another, "Let us now go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place." So the shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem, bringing along their sheep, and the angels gathered in the sky around the stable to help light the way. So while the angels and the shepherds and sheep and border collies come to Bethlehem, let's stand as able and join in singing, "Angels We Have Heard on High." The words are in your order of service.
When they got to the stable in Bethlehem, the shepherds and their sheep found Mary and Joseph and the baby laying in the manger, just as the angel Gabriel had told them. And they were so amazed, they told everyone what the angel had said to them about the newborn baby. And everyone who heard the story was amazed too. But Mary just remembered all these things and kept them in her heart, though mostly she loved her baby. And the sheep gently baaed for the baby because they were so happy and loved the baby too. They sensed that this baby was special. Sheep, would you baa now for baby Jesus? Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 or maybe more wise persons, do we know how many we have here today?
Looks like we've got 3.
All right, looks like we have 3. 3 wise persons who were kings and queens from the Far East came to Jerusalem, traveling on camels. Will the wise persons and their camels please go to the back of the sanctuary now? And don't forget to bring your gifts. What happened was that the wise persons had learned about a prophecy, a prediction, that the Messiah, the long-awaited king of the Jewish people, would be born in Bethlehem. So the wise persons set out with their camels on a long journey to Bethlehem, bearing special and beautiful gifts for the baby because they wanted to honor the baby. When the wise persons finally found the baby in the stable, they were overwhelmed with joy. And they opened their bags and brought out their gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. So now, let's all stand and join in singing We Three Kings, while the wise persons and camels make their way to Bethlehem and give their gifts to the baby.
If you are able, please remain standing. Now we have gathered everyone who is a part of the story of the birth of Jesus. Let's pause for a moment and just look. Look at the shining stars and angels. Look at the shepherds and sheep and wise persons and camels and animals all gathered together peacefully in the manger. Look at the parents and their baby. This story is about hope and new life. It is a story about birth and wonder and mystery. It is a story about love getting born into this world and how love can change everything. It is all still here. Look, it is all still here. Our closing hymn is O Little Town of Bethlehem, on the insert in your order of service. As we sing, everyone can make their way oh so carefully back to their pews. We ask that you put your costume in its paper bag and leave it in your pew. Let's remain standing as able and sing together our hymn.
Friends, we bring with us many things into this space today. Perhaps some of you came in with joy, perhaps some of you came in with sadness, perhaps some of you came in with both. As we go through this holiday experience, wherever we are, let us, if we can, enjoy these moments of joy and goodness and connection and time together as we find the moments of love and care that we all need and deserve. Go and be blessed and be a blessing. Amen.
Please join me in reciting the words for the extinguishing the chalice, which are found in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service is ended, but our life of service continues. Please, everyone, go down to the Metcalf Hall for the potluck lunch.